going on, guys? Welcome back to Balls Deep Fishing. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Y'all probably wondering, where is this goon been at? Well, lack of a better term, I've been busy the past probably 3 months with work and life and everything else. Not necessarily 3 months. I guess it's been 2 months. I guess the last video I posted was about the KBF trail tournament I won on Lanier. I haven't really been fishing a lot because I've been working on some stuff that's actually right behind me. So, and I'm going to share that with y'all today. So, probably 3-4 months ago, me and my family decided we wanted to buy some property to eventually have a farm on, somewhat live off the land, but also do a lot of hunting on. Well, that long time dream of mine of always having land has finally came true. We have recently purchased right under 50 acres here in Dawsonville, Georgia, and I'm standing on it right now. There's about 4 or 5 pastures. Four pastures, a nice ridge, and it's on the Little Emacloa Creek, which is technically the Little Emacloa River. And today I'm actually out here gonna fill some more feeders with corn for some big buck that we got coming in and some big bear we got coming in too. You'll see videos of that also. But I kind of want to show y'all, kind of what we're working with. So as you see behind me, this is the first pasture right off the road. With an old barn right here. Absolutely gorgeous barn. Just gorgeous barn. But this would be, I guess, pasture 1 or the first pasture on the property because it's the first pasture you see. Out past that wood line is another pasture right behind that. So hopefully in the next few years, me and my wife and my family can build a house in that back pasture. And then dead center of this pasture, the river runs through it, the Little Emacloa. And then on the other side of the river is the third pasture on the lower level. Then we'll go up, and I'll show you all this too, because I got to go up, in the top pasture and in the back pasture to fill some feeders and check my stands and check my trail cams. But so, and I said I'll show that to you here in a minute. But this is kind of our little homestead that we're going to work on. Eventually grow it up to, put some houses on it, maybe a little farm, put another big barn. That's going to be actually the first thing we're going to put on is a barn with a bunkhouse above it. So when we do come hunting up here for a weekend, even though it is 10 minutes from the house, from where I currently live now, we can still have a good time, camp out with the kids and, enjoy the land until we eventually build on it. But that's kind of what I've been up to lately. I've been doing a little bit of hunting. I have been hunting in probably 6-8 years because I really didn't have property. All my property that I was allowed to hunt on got built on or someone sold it. So I didn't really have nothing to work with until we got this piece of property. It's absolutely gorgeous. We wanted something, obviously, with a river that we could do some fishing on. This is trout waters. Down below it is trout waters. We're not sure. We are going to stock it with trout. We may put some bass in. Not really sure. It's really cold, so I'm not really sure how bass would do in it. But, who knows? We may give it a shot. But my main purpose for today is hopefully I jump a big deer or bear. I don't think that's going to happen. My main purpose for coming up here today is I got to move some trail cameras. I got to fill some feeders, and I got to put some corn out in front of some trail cameras. Just kind of move some trail cameras around in different pastures to see if there's more activity in one pasture than there is the other. We know the top pasture on top of the ridge up above me is really hot. That's where we've been hunting the past 2 weeks at. We haven't shot nothing because we're trying to see what's all out here. I've seen a big 8-pointer. I've seen another smaller 8-pointer. I've seen a 6-pointer, numerous does, a nice spike. And then when we put the trail camera out, and I'll show you at the one feeder that we do have, we've seen a monster bear. So really, really cool to see, what's all out here on this property. There's tons of sign of all sorts of animals. My buddies drove by it, and they've seen hogs and coyotes in the fields at nighttime. So we definitely need to take care of that issue immediately, so that may be a cool little thing to do also. But what's really cool is the guy who we bought this property from was a huge hunter, and he has actually tripods and ladder stands in each pasture. And we're like, if you want to save you the trouble of having to go out there and pull them all down, you can definitely leave them on the property. We didn't think he was going to leave them, but he left every single stand. I think at the end of the day, he left probably 4 or 5 stands, and then we added a few more stands on top of that just to try to get, we want to be able, if, we come out here, the kids come out here, or even if I bring buddies out here, we have options to be able to hunt. And basically you can, in one day of hunting, in one time, you can definitely get numerous people hunting on different sections of the property and be able to see numerous different types of wildlife. So it's really, really cool. But right now I'm going to go in the barn to see if the previous owner left any of his homemade feeders that he has built. He's built them out of the black rigid pipe, usually for culverts and stuff, but it's not the metal pipe. He has left a lot of chicken wire. That's definitely going to get cleaned out. And then it's really, I mean, this barn, there's no telling how old this barn is. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love this barn. I'm not going to lie. Nothing in that stall. Let's check this stall. All right, so hot, yeah, we got some more feeders. So right there, that's kind of what he's built them out of. He's put a trash can lid on top of it. He's cut out sections in the bottom so the corn can actually come out. And he attaches them, you know, he sets them up all the way across or all around the property, and he puts the post on, 3 posts on each feeder, and then ratchet straps it together because he did have a lot of issues with Bear getting the feeders and taking them off. Same thing with, he was feeding the trout as well. He had automatic feeders that actually suspended over the river that are still down there that we are going to fix up. But he said he's having a lot of trouble with Bear getting into those feeders or knocking them down and destroying them. So definitely got some work to do around here. I'm just checking this other one, this other stall. Just got some more barbed wire. So now I'm going to leave pasture 1, we're calling it, and head to, I'm not going to the back pasture. You'll be able to see the back pasture whenever I get to the first tripod stand, but I'm going to go to, I guess you want to call it pasture 3, which is across the river. Over there, you'll be able to see, the river and the little parking area and all that good stuff over there. So let me get back in the truck and we'll catch you up over there. All right, guys, so I pulled up to the other pasture. As you can see, it's a whole lot darker here. I'm not fully into the pasture yet. I got to open up the gate to get into the next pasture, but I want to share this with y'all right here. So leaving the first pasture, you do have to get on the road for, I don't know, probably 20 yards just to cross over the river. There is actually a homemade bridge he built out of telephone poles, which is really cool. Definitely for the kids. They love to walk across it, so on and so forth. Here's the river so far. It is a little bit low right now because we haven't had much rain. But here's it going under the roadway. And then let me see if I can get a back shot here. So if you can see that, it goes all the way up. And what's really cool about how the river is laid out here is, like I said, it's in between 2 pastures. But keep in mind, there's another pasture where hopefully we'll eventually build our house, the second pasture behind the first pasture. It actually bends, the river bends. So the river is actually on 2 different sides of the pasture. So it's really, really cool. Definitely for building. So you could technically position a house where you could see and hear the river from 2 sides of the house. So it's really, really cool. This is where I'm going to get into potentially jumping a deer. So I'm probably going to take it down a little notch. I love just coming out here and just sitting and breathing. I don't have to be hunting. I don't have to be fishing. It's just absolutely gorgeous. But I'll show you this pasture here before we get down into spreading corn out. So, all right, guys. So right here, I'm calling it pasture 3. It's probably 2-3 football fields long. At the very end of this pasture where actually I'm heading is a nice tripod stand that the gentleman left for us. We were really blessed to be able for him to leave those stands. We did have stands, but we didn't have nothing as nice as these stands. Yeah, they need a little bit of work, but they're structurally perfect, to be honest with you. But as you see here, keep in mind, I'm in the pasture. The river's running the right side, that wood line. Then it cuts behind the pasture where the other pasture is. So it's really, really cool. We haven't really seen a lot of activity in this pasture here. Well, we've seen a lot of sign, but we have hunted it a couple times and just came out here and sat, and we really didn't see no activity. That's another reason why we put up trail cams to kind of see where they're moving, when they're coming in at, so on and so forth. So, but let me get this gate open and we'll drive on down there and start spreading some corn. Woo-woo! All right, guys, so I'm gonna keep it rolling while I'm pulling in, and I'll touch on a few little things. I'm pulling in right past the gate now, and there's just a little stream coming in to feeds into the river itself. But I mean, it's just absolutely just gorgeous out here. I would really love to jump something. Got my 308 in the car. Really want something to take a dirt nap. This is also a potential place where we may build a house. But really, like I said, we're not going to build for a few years, because we really want to see how the land plays out, or how it works. But not only that, we can really see and hunt the property to see where the best place of hunting is, because this is a key hunting property for us, the only hunting property for us. So we don't want to ruin that by coming in here and building up houses. So we kind of want to pick and choose where everyth's at and where's the best place to put a house or the best place to hunt, so on and so forth. So really, really cool place up here. Really, really cool. Oh yeah, real quick, we'll show y'all this right here. Let me roll my window down. All right, guys, so right there is the telephone pole bridge that he's laid across the river, and that's the other pasture I was talking about, where we hopefully want to put our house at. So you have that river view, but you're also in a pasture, so it's really, really cool. A bunch of good rubs through here. I'll probably walk over to where the feeders were for the fish. Let's see, should be right in there somewhere. All right, guys, so I just got out of the truck. I wanted to show y'all where these fish feeders are at. Also look for more sign. Tell you what, Copperhead City through here, baby. We ain't got to worry about that this time of year. All right, so this is really cool. So, like I said earlier, he was feeding the fish in this river. He said he's caught some monster trout in this river, but he wanted to grow them and get bigger trout to be trophy trout. So he has fish feeders that he actually suspended. See that cord or that line right there, or that cable? He suspended it over the river, and he had it on a timer. So, at say 7 a.m. every morning, it'd spit out feed and feed the fish. Ooh, that was kind of gross. But he said he had so much trouble with the bears that they would actually get into the water and knock the feeder off and try to get it. You can actually look at the feeder itself and see where the bear has got to it. So a lot of cool stuff on this property, I tell you, man. Really, really cool stuff. But I gotta get to lay some corn out. So a lot down here because we haven't seen a lot of activity. I want to put it where we've seen a lot of the activity at. The more corn where we've seen more of the activity. I'm just trying to do a little test run, maybe a half a bag and 25 pounds down here, and see if that will draw some deer over this way. Fingers crossed. So here goes nothing. I got a little bit sideways here in the pasture there for a minute. I'm actually headed, like I said, I'm headed up to the upper pasture, but I kind of want to show y'all, I guess, the road going up to it. So I'm about to flip the camera. God bless, this pasture's bumpy. I'm gonna flip the camera over and get us going up the mountain. It's really, really cool little mountain road they got. I think they made it all by hand. It's really, really cool. So I'm excited. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm excited. In full drive, where I'm hopefully not making a lot of sound going up, just in case I jump something. If I jump something, it will be here soon. So halfway up the, well, obviously you can't see that, halfway up the mountain road or the ridge road, whatever you want to call it, there's a big feeder, one of those homemade feeders that the guy made. I'm definitely going to put corn in that, but I'm not going to do it yet. I'm just going to do that one last, because any leftover corn I will put into that feeder. So that's kind of my game plan as of right now. So I'm gonna go straight up to the top, and got my 308 right there, just in case I do jump something, ready to rock and roll. But I want to see if there's anything down here at this feeder. All right, so there's nothing down here. I'll show you here in just a second. We've seen a lot of activity coming down on this feeder. You'll see in just a second. So, right there. All right, so this is where that big bear has been hanging out at. Right there at that feeder. It's halfway, I guess you could say it's halfway up the ridge. But like I said, I'm not gonna hit that one until I get back. So let's head on up. So up here is where actually we did most of the hunting at, up here in these ladder stands. And I meant to show you the tripod down the other pasture, but I forgot to. But usually right when you top this hill, right when you top that hill, that's the top pasture where it starts. And you're usually, if you're gonna jump something, it's gonna be right here in just a minute. And I'm not lugging 3 50-pound bags of corn through a pasture, so I'm just gonna drive straight up through it. If I jump something, I jump something. If I don't, I don't. It is what it is. So here's the top pasture up here. Didn't see nothing. So, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me. I've been hunting. I have been videoing, and I just haven't put nothing together yet. I really wanted to wait till I could get some good footage seeing deer on camera, but who knows. It's kind of tough to come by, to say the least. Time to get up in the pasture. All right, guys, real quick before I get out and move this camera, I want to show you this right here. So this is the double ladder stand the gentleman left who was selling us the property. This is where I've mainly been hunting. The reason for that is I'm trying to get it ready for my kids. But it's right behind me. I'll show it here, or actually I'll go show it to you. So there's the double stand right there, but it's overlooking this whole pasture. Right there's been a lot of deer coming out right here out of this corner, but they're all coming out of this whole wood line on the right side. And our trail camera is actually right there, and that I'm actually gonna move down to the end of the pasture and see if there's a lot of activity going on down there. So, but that's mainly the stand I've been hunting. So I'm gonna get out here and get that camera moved, baby. Woo woo. All right, guys. So I just took down the trail cam here, and I'll touch base on that in just a second. I think something just ran off in the woods down there. But as you can tell, I'm at the other end of the pasture right now. The trail camera was down there where that double ladder stand was. But what I went ahead and did is I went ahead and spread some more corn out up there because I'll probably come hunt. Dang, I think I just saw something's over there. See if I can get it in just a second. But I wanted to have some type of corn at that end of the pasture too, so if they are still coming in from that side, I'll still be able to get a good shot on them down there. But just want to touch base on these trail cameras here. They're made by Moultrie. We picked them up. I think we got them over at Tractor Supply at a pretty good price. We bought 3 or 4 at a time. And what's really cool about these is they have a large area for the battery, so you can fit a lot of batteries in there, and it has a good battery life so far we've seen. Also, it holds bigger SD cards, so you're not having to physically come up here and change out SD cards. But what's really cool also too is that this links to a website that you create a login on, and all your pictures, as soon as they get uploaded with that website, and you can actually edit those pictures or delete those pictures off of that website, so you don't physically have to come up here every day or every week to change all SD cards or delete pictures. So right now I'm probably going to set it up. We have another single stand. Probably can't see it, but it's literally right there. Here, I'll just walk over here. This is another ladder stand that gentleman left. This one is a single stand. So yeah, it's right up in the sunlight. But it's a single stand. My stepfather hunted it the other day, and he saw a big buck walking down this little logging trail. And this little, God, I keep hearing stuff. It's losing my mind here. He saw a big buck walk down this old logging trail. So I'm gonna set up the camera actually right here on this oak tree and point it down the game trail, the logging trail, and then I'm going to dump out a bunch of corn there. So hopefully we'll be able to see what's actually coming in on this side of the pasture versus we know it's coming in on that side of the pasture. They're all coming in again from this wood line here, but we think the bigger ones are moving in here because when last time I saw the 8, he was running down the pasture to my stand to 2 does, but whenever he got halfway down the pasture, he jumped the 2 does and they took off into the woods, so he didn't stop. I couldn't get a shot on him. So fingers crossed I'm gonna get it this time, but we'll see what happens here. I was gonna put it up on this oak tree behind me, or right there, but we've noticed that obviously it's motion detected, so every time a branch blows, it's causing the camera to go off. So there's a lot of overhead brush right there, so I didn't want to put it there. I decided to put it on this little oak tree right here. You're the same level as the camera is right now, so you got all this little open area right here that I'm going to spread the corn out, so it should be a good spot. If he's not lying and say he saw that big buck walk down this game trail, it should stop him right there, and we should be able to get good footage on him. So fingers crossed. I'm gonna get this other 50-pound bag and go dump it out. I just got done setting up the camera and spreading out corn, but I want to share with y'all. So I put some corn somewhere else too. So there's your single ladder stand that I showed you a minute ago. I put corn right here in this bare spot. So if a deer is moving up the hill, hopefully it'll stop here and you can get a good shot on it. And then also, I'll just show you what I did over here. So we need to get, one thing we do need to get in the off season, or maybe sooner than later, is automatic feeders. We don't have those yet. That's why we're running through so much corn. I'm actually gonna probably make a DIY one this weekend, but it's like, you know, within a day all the corn's gone. Now I know we have a lot of wildlife on this property between crows and hogs and coyotes, deer and bear. So I mean, they're eating it all up in a fast pace. But here's where I put the trail cam right there, and then also, if you can see it, I just spread the corn out versus just making one big pile. Everyone has their own opinion about one big pile or not, but I don't know, who knows. So now I'm gonna head down to the middle one and to where the bear has been, and I'm actually gonna put in, depending on how much he has ate. He sat there for 2 hours one night eating, but if there's still a good bit left, I will probably only put a half a bag in that one. And then I forgot I added a climber stand in the pasture where I eventually want to build my house. So I'm probably gonna go put some corn down there because I would like to hunt that stand this weekend. But we'll see what happens. I'm trying to see if I can see something. Now, physically, I'm literally in the middle of the pasture right now. So hopefully we'll get some activity. I love it up here, y'all. This is actually near where I grew up, so this is home to me. Oh, big bump, huge bump. Glad I gotta lift the truck. I'll tell you that right now. All right, so going down the road here, I was facing the ridge side, which is over there. This is the ridge that's actually going down the hill, or down the road, on the other side of the road. As you see, the last storm that came in, that hurricane knocked down a bunch of trees, so we had to cut some trees out of the roadway to be able to get up here. It's just absolutely gorgeous through here, y'all. I know, you know, video don't really show a lot, but I mean, there's some pretty stuff out there, and I gotta be careful not to run off the road. I'm hoping I jump something, but I guess I'm not going to. I was hoping this warmer weather today had them moving. We had snow 2 days ago. Can you believe that crap? Snow. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going a little bit faster than I probably should. But if you can see, there's the bottom pasture down there where the big tripod stand is, where we went first. So it's really not that big of a ridge, but which is actually good. You do actually want some ridges on properties too. Bring in different type of wildlife. So there is the other can right there, or the feeder, the homemade feeder. I'm actually gonna, if you can see it, that trail camera is literally right there. I'm actually gonna try to move it back a little bit, see if I can get a better shot of anything coming in. So we'll see what happens. This is gonna be tough to film, so I'll probably just do this one and then get back with you. So there's a little bit of corn left in it. I went ahead and filled it up, and I went ahead and pushed a lot of the branches down, or the little twigs and trees around it, because every time one of them, the wind blew, it would make the camera go off. So we were wasting a lot of space on the SD card. So that one's filled up. So I have switch gears. I'm actually gonna go put a half a bag of corn in the field of where I put up a new climber in the field where I eventually want to build my house. So I'm headed over that way now to see if I can see any sign and just dump some corn out there. I'm trying to get the deer to come into that field. Seems like those bottom pastures have just not been producing the deer like they are on the top pasture. So we'll see what happens. So I'm driving back down the hill now. It's kind of steep at first. You technically don't need four-wheel drive, but definitely in the morning when it's dew and when it's wet, you'll need four-wheel drive. We're eventually gonna gravel this and potentially put a house right up on this little ridge right here. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. Let me get over to the next stand. Put my house probably dead center of that bad boy right there. As you see, let it focus. There's my little climber. Yeah, it's not really have a lot of protection right there for cover, but like I said, I may hunt this field. I'm not really sure yet. So I'm trying to get some deer into this pasture and be able to hunt this pasture. So we'll see what happens though. Probably, they've been rooting around and rutting around right through here. So I'll probably put the corn, yeah, right there. Yeah, you know they've been in here. Ooh, doggy. All right. So, I guess I'll put it right there. Not really sure yet, but, or that's where I'm gonna put it. I don't know how it's gonna do over here. It'll probably get 8, but nothing that we will see. It'll get 8 before I come out here and hunt. Guys, so that's a wrap for my newly property. Not sure what we're gonna name it yet. Actually, I think we have a pretty good idea, but it may be a little Christmas present surprise. So we'll just stay tuned to see that. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm really excited and thrilled to be able to have a piece of property that I can hunt on, I can fish on, I can raise a farm on, I can raise my family on. The kids can get out here and just be set free. This is something I've always dreamed of, and I'm just truly blessed to be able to have the opportunity to have this in my possession and be able to make it a home, make it a homestead. There you go. But guys, thank y'all so much for watching. I will be doing more videos. I will be doing hunting videos since now I have hunting property, and also videos of how I'm managing my property, what I'm building, like, you know, DIY deer feeders, bear feeders, whatever you want to see. Definitely drop a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you want to see. And because I mean, I have just under 50 acres to do really whatever the heck I want to do. You know, I'm going to set up, you know, a range to shoot on, sight all my guns in, you know, probably do some speed drills on. So, because, you know, obviously I used to be a cop, so I'm kind of missing a little bit of that. And I'll be able to get back into it somewhat on this side of shooting side with having this piece of property. So I'm really looking forward to it, guys. But thank y'all so much for watching. I got some more. I got some big stuff coming y'all way. Some stuff in the works on the fishing side as well. Definitely for the 2021 season. I am ready to throw 2020 out the window. I'm over it. I'm done. But guys, I feel like this property is going to be able to bring a lot of good content to y'all, and I'm just thrilled to be able to create that content and bring it to you guys. But guys, thank y'all so much for watching. Stay tuned. I got some big stuff coming y'all's way, guys. Dude.